fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Hello,
Hey
guys.
guys, we're
Good
live.
morning. Yay, we're back with the Dollar Trading Show. I'm Diego, and this is Nick, my co host. We are co founders of Groovy Market, the prediction market we are building that gives power back to the users. So it's a user generated prediction market. And every day during the week here, we join you guys to talk about what's going on in prediction markets for 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on what's going on. How are you doing today, Nick?
It's every day except from Friday.
Except from Friday, yeah.
every
Yeah,
yeah, I'm good today. Yeah.
we
It's been
have some shit
it's
going on.
interesting watching the blooming of all the people wanting to talk about prediction markets. But I was listening to a space this morning. Um, yeah, it's interesting because there's definitely. I mean, we've been aware of it since end of last year of
Mm-hmm.
this new drive for prediction
This
markets,
new
and I
this
saw
new
people talking
frontier.
about the
Yeah.
meme coin people versus the prediction market people this morning, and I'm just like, the meme guys will come over when they stop being able to extract 1,000x by lying in a post. They'll end up doing it
Which
over at
which
Groovy
which which
without extracting from
yeah,
people.
which is an interesting view. So we understand that people who likes meme coins, they like to speculate. And I mean, of course, prediction markets are the best to anyone speculate on anything. But we are still not there when it comes to the potential upside on prediction markets compared to meme coins. But
Yeah,
we know that tools are being built to give you guys the power to do that. So if you want to speculate and be kind of a gambler in prediction markets, you will be allowed to do that really soon.
yeah. I mean, I think it's one of the points. What was one of the points we were made this morning? It's like, and this is what we go on about. Like, this is why we have like our $50 pot, and we're trying to like make money. It's not on prediction markets. You might you might not be able to put in like $1 and make $1 million, right? But you can still make huge percentage gains, right? And that's what you and
Hmm.
I focus on. That's why this is called the dollar trade show, right? So like put in $1 and we make 200% back. Like you
Yeah,
can't knock that, right? And if I had more balls, I'd bet bigger, but I don't. So
yeah,
that's it. Do you like
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
T-shirt?
What is this?
Decentralize everything.
Decentralized.
Decentralize
Oh my!
everything.
When I read that, it looks like I'm watching the mirror.
Is it
It's
inverse? Yeah, why is that?
using.
That's weird. Maybe
I
there's a
don't know.
camera setting that I need to play with.
Maybe. And so I think the interest in prediction marks are only going to grow. And I will start with this piece of news here because everybody was already talking about prediction markets, and now poly market is allowed to play in the US by the CFTC. Basically, CFTC is a regulatory arm of the US government. They oversee the derivative markets, so it's giving way more clarification, regulatory clarification to prediction markets. And we know how important this is. So for we are seeing this movement in the US. Oh, where are you, Nick? I lost you. Anyway, you're welcome back whenever you can. So basically, we are seeing how regulatory clarification is good for crypto. And since we have regulation on stable coins and in crypto in a broader way, we are seeing how demand for traditional finance on traditional investors is growing. So, oh, you're back.
Yeah, I got robbed.
What? Yeah, man. It's
That was
Twitter.
what
It
happened.
always happens. It's Twitter in crypto. You will get rugged eventually.
Essentially, you just
Yes.
get used to it, so the ruggins don't feel so
Yeah.
rough.
Yes, exactly. So we are seeing a convergence to traditional markets, into regulators, into crypto. Um, I'm not a romantic person, so I don't believe anymore that crypto will substitute traditional institutions. But actually, traditional institutions and crypto will give hands, and they will walk together side by side. Exactly. This is what's going to happen.
We should
So there's,
not be. Nobody should be caring about
yes,
what's underneath the layer of thing they're using. So
exactly. I mean, it's still society. It is what it is. So whoever's have the power will embrace the new technologies and make their own. This is why, I mean, prediction markets are growing, and regulators will allow people to play with them. So that's the good thing. So Polymarket has a green light, and right now is the biggest prediction market out there. And this, by not by coincidence, uh, John Wang, who's talking a lot about Kaushi, he's just joined Kaushi on last week. We've been talking about
we
him.
also talk a lot about him because he
Yeah, we
talks a
also
lot.
talk a lot
So
because
he's got good
he
thoughts on it,
talks a
right?
lot.
Like he works in important places. Yeah, it's good to hear somebody
Yeah,
who's in the
and
process of
that's the
making
thing.
change in the industry.
He creates a lot of content, so we know. I mean, he shares a little bit from the inside. So let's go further. Basically, after Shane Copland shared this tweet highlighting that now Polymarket has the green light to play in the US, he was just sharing how Kaushi is winning, not because of a US license, so it's clearly kind of teasing Shane here, but with L Wild Machinery and the relationship built around. So basically, he's talking about what we highlighted yesterday morning, the fact that Polymarket and Kaushi took different ways, but it seems that they are going to get to the same path, to the same
Yeah,
place, right?
all
So
roads lead to Rome.
yes, exactly. So Kaushi has been built off chain and has been making these partnerships with Robinhood and Webull that we mentioned yesterday, but eventually will move on chain. And
That's
Polymarket,
your thoughts. That's not like it's not guaranteed.
they
That's
will,
like what
they
you're
will.
implying. Like,
This
don't
is my
say that with absolute.
this
Don't be
is
a
my
pundit.
speculation.
Don't be one
This
of
is
those
my
guys. Let's make a prediction market. Well, that's what we'll do. Like when we go
we
live,
will do.
when we go into testnet, what we'll do is we'll create a prediction market saying, "Well, will Kalshi go on chain in 2026?"
Okay, I will make two markets. Will Kaushi go on chain in 2026? And
Mm-hmm.
then I will do when Kaushi is going live. One prediction for each month, and another one for in which chain they will deploy.
Ah,
Yeah, so it will be on Say, it can be Solana,
you
it can
think
be
it's
on
Solana?
Arbitrum.
You think it's Solana?
I think there are
It's
more
going to be.
chances to be on Solana.
I think there's a high probability Solana. I don't know what the fee rate is in Solana versus like Polygon, because to one thing that maybe some people aren't listening, some people who are listening might not know, is the reason Robinhood's so big. I said this yesterday, and one of the reasons Polymarket is so big is because they don't charge fees to trade, right? So every punter comes in, and that's why you can do dollar trades. Because
Hmm.
if you were to do dollar trades and get charged like 2% in fees or something like that, this would suck. And when I say fees, sorry, let me clarify, gas, blockchain gas, right? So it has
Hmm.
to be,
Hmm.
we're not talking about protocol fees because they take their fees from
Trading
different,
fees or anything like that. Yeah.
Polymarket takes, yeah. You just like pure transaction fees.
Yeah, so that's the thing we mentioned, that it could be Say, it could be Solana, it could be Arbitrum. So Solana and Arbitrum already have liquidity, already have players, but I see Solana because as we've been talking, everybody's believing that people who are already trading meme coins are going to move to prediction markets, which makes
Mhm.
sense. I mean, there's a theory there. So let's see, makes sense. All since all the meme coins are mostly on Solana, it would be interesting
And
to
they just
see.
have such a huge user base, right? And they are
Already,
clearly trusted and clearly seen as Ethereum's biggest competitor, right?
already, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not like there's no other blockchain that's sitting there going, "Oh, we're an Ethereum competitor." There's none. You can
There
hear
is.
the bullshit people in who
Don't forget about Avalanche.
are
Avalanche,
they saying
Avalanche.
that? I don't know. I'm not
They've
even
been
listening. But like,
they, they've been saying that
okay,
for years now.
But
and they
Solana
have a
came out
huge debt.
after and like tanked them. So like Solana,
Yeah,
the
that's
issue
true.
with Solana is meme coins. Actually, that's where the distrust in
Hmm.
Solana's coming, right? But if you speak to people in super
Yes.
teams, they're like, no, we have more than that, but they really don't yet. And I think Solana must be internally figuring out how to bring mass adoption things like because prediction
Hmm.
market are clearly mass adoption products. Like I don't care what anybody says.
Hmm.
Um, so they must be talking about how do we bring in stuff like that. And there are prediction markets on Solana. Is it Triad? Triad's one of them. I've not
There's
used it.
already some. Yeah, if
I
they are
think
not well
Triad's a big one.
established yet, they are not well established yet. I mean, but they are there
They
already.
did
Yeah.
a round from an XVP of Circle or something like that. So that's
Hmm.
their funding round.
I know how you can onboard. So if you deploy on Solana, just sell Solana phones already with the prediction market app there. That would be
There
really
we
cool.
go. So
Yeah.
I've been looking at. I don't want to take this off things, but I've been playing with my Solana phone, and it's
Okay.
just a
How was
phone.
that?
Just a
Is
phone.
that good? It's the phone.
I
Yeah, it's
mean,
a phone.
Google must be paying them a fortune to lock all their apps on their phone. That's all I'm saying. Just so it's basically spyware, but for crypto, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not doing much with that phone except from farming anything
Okay.
that Solana is going to give us over the next month.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
Sorry, I'm such a
So
cynical arsehole.
it makes sense. I mean, we are in this space. I mean, we have to have some degree of cynicism, right? So
Cynicism, yeah.
cynicism, yeah. So still talking about Cauchy and how, okay, it's not exactly how I believe Cauchy will move on chain, but do believe it will. So Chief Steve, who's one of the Cauchy builders, he was just talking about last week, and how prediction markets can add to the efficient market hypothesis. And basically, the efficient market hypothesis has been around for some time in traditional markets, and it states that a market is efficient when it aggregates all when the price reflects all the information that possibly could be there to influence the price. So it means that there's no opportunity in the markets. When you look at the price of something, that's the correct price that any asset should be trading for. So as new information comes on, the price can change, but every time the price reflects exactly the real value of the asset. So this is the efficient market hypothesis, but of course, it's just a theory. It does not reflect what happens in reality. But can it be different with prediction markets? So Chief Steve started to write about this, and he said, I recently posted about how the efficient market hypothesis makes prediction market odds useful as a continuous data source. We've been talking about it. And people asking if he was biased, accurate, or he was assuming stuff. So I want to establish one thing. Prediction markets are really good at their job. I mean, if you have enough users and there is enough liquidity there, they will be, right? So the big graph you see is called a calibration plot. This one, this is a calibration plot. So this is a resolution and probability. So how the probability of something happening is aligned to the final resolution. So see if the green dots deviate from the actual resolution, it means that's not exactly so efficient market. As more as the green dots are close to the resolution, it means that that is an efficient market. So in a perfect world, an event with 20% odds of occurring would happen exactly 20% of the time. If the odds say 80%, it should happen 80% of the time. So our world isn't perfect, but prediction markets almost are. We want our odds to follow the gray line as much as possible. And as this graph makes abundantly clear, we are almost always absurdly close. And as participation and liquidity increases, this only gets better. That's what I just said. So how does this translate into real world? So I can go on about abstract accuracy. So I will ground my argument in real terms. Prediction marks are the world's most accurate weatherman, the leading indicators for expected Tesla deliveries, and the more accurate than the CME for Federal Reserve interest rate
Mhm.
forecast, and so much more than that. What are your takes, Nick?
I agree, right? And I think what a much more interesting benchmark would be, sort of comparable. No, that's an interesting benchmark, like really cool data. Um, I would like to compare that against the sort of same takes that are being said on, Bloomberg, CNBC,
Mm-hmm.
in the media, in the traditional media with the pundits, right? Because in my mind, it's prediction markets versus the pundits.
Mm-hmm.
And like I keep going back to the JP Morgan thing a couple of days ago, a week and a half ago or something, or 2 weeks ago with
Mm-hmm.
the interest rates, right? 2 days before the job numbers come out. Now maybe they had like again, like why would they say this? Like, did they make money by saying that there's not going to be interest rate cuts? Like, is that what they're doing? But
Mm-hmm.
2 days later, I mean, they should have more information than anybody. But most of Polymarket was saying there's going to be a rate cut, so that's completely wrong. What JP Morgan, the bank that everybody trusts, is saying versus these things. So I
Mm-hmm.
think the benchmark is yes, yourself should like even as just a person should always benchmark against yourself rather than everybody else. Um, but I think there's a clear distinction in how where we consume media right now and the information we get from that, how accurate it is, and how we make our decisions, right? So the other day I was looking at see if there was going to be a Bank of England increase to see if my mortgage was going to go up in price, and there doesn't look like there's going to be one. So I was using that in Polymarket. So
Mm-hmm.
everyday people can use it. But if I went to the media, they might say something totally different, but everybody absorbs and listens to the media and believes it to be true, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what we're seeing here is the crowd can be incredibly smart or incredibly stupid,
Mm-hmm.
depending what's motivating them. But I think because there's a financial cost, we try to be incredibly smart. Whereas if there was no financial cost, you get what happens in Twitter, where you get all the ruggers on the meme coins and stuff like that. Because and even in media, there's no cost being wrong, except when you might not get another media slot. But that's unlikely because they tend to book people they know and like. And I know that for a fact because I knew somebody used to go on Bloomberg, and then the producer changed and he no longer went on Bloomberg. So they book people they know and book people they like. This is a problem. That's a bias
Mm-hmm.
immediately, and then you're getting the bias of the individual. So I'm liking what he's saying. I love how he's showing in data. I'd love to see how we can like retroactively look at articles on crypto prices and see how
Mm-hmm.
accurate they were relative to a prediction market. Because I really think that's where if you take that out into the public, people go, "Holy shit!" Like I could have made money betting on Bitcoin rather than
Yeah.
listening to like the doomsayers that
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin's dead, blah blah blah. Because by the way, like
Mm-hmm.
123 or 125, whoever it was, I don't believe is the top, and I don't think anybody in Polymarket believes is the top.
Yeah, so this is, I assume this is internal data from Kalshi, but I would like to know exactly, I mean, what's the size of those markets? Because he mentions the number of users and the amount of liquidity. So which markets are those? Because it will
Yeah,
be interesting to see where people are making more bets. We know that sports and crypto make most of the volume, but I would like to see that we saw how big, how many markets Kalshi has,
mhm.
how this accuracy reflects overall in all those markets, how liquidity influences it.
Exactly. So how does depth affect efficiency
Exactly. I
in
mean,
niche markets, right? I think the niche can we get accurate things in niche markets. So like even if you just remove sports and crypto, right? Because that's straight gambling, right? There's no real public benefit to that. There's no truth engine in that necessarily that helps the
mm-hmm,
general public. What about markets that affect housing prices and stuff like that? How accurate were they? Because that would help
mm-hmm.
everyday people make better decisions on what they're going to do.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. And I have a question for you based on what you just said before. So if everybody is reading the same news and they are making their predictions based on the same news, does it become a kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy?
Yeah, it's same with
Like
technical
technical
analysis.
analysis, like the criticism
If
around technical
everybody's
analysis.
using the same, Elliott wave, or you know what I mean, or they're using the same indicators, like
Mm-hmm.
everybody using the MACD, everybody using the RSI. right?
Everybody's
really did
going
that
to
to
get to the
Walton,
same
right?
conclusions.
Is everybody
Obviously.
watching it and going, "Oh well, it's moving," and really the only people who move the indicator are the big players, right? So yeah,
So, and
it can be a I think it is a self-fulfilling prophecy at times.
yeah, yes, and with this we can get to finally, I mean, the pain point of what we are going to talk about.
Yes.
So George is talking about exactly this post that we talked about here right now, and he said, since Kaushi brought up the efficient market hypothesis, perhaps we should talk about insider trading and prediction markets. And
Mm-hmm.
after I read this for you guys, I'm gonna ask the hard question. If you are optimizing for predictive power, insiders should be able to trade. This is a strong, efficient market hypothesis where the price incorporates the information. That's in essence the efficient market idea. Weak efficient market hypothesis is weak. The regulators will never allow this, of course, even if you make the argument that insider trading is less damaging in this space than in traditional asset classes. So unregulated exchanges like Polymarket actually do a great service propping up price discovery right now. Think about how many fresh accounts bet massive sums on geopolitical events with people asking, what did they know? That's just what you notice. And regulated exchange still get the benefit from this price efficiency as people arbitrage away difference across exchange. This is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, and naturally, this status quo won't last forever. As the regulatory landscape evolves, and I doubt anyone wants to fight this fight, perhaps we should stick to calling them event contracts and not prediction markets. Okay, this is interesting, and of course, he
Yeah.
mentioned this. This is from where when does he posting last week, August 28th, and as we saw, like a week later, we see regulation embracing prediction markets. But it's event contracts. It's really interesting expression, and the question is, okay, insider traders, are they good or bad for prediction markets?
It's a hard one.
This is
I don't
so.
know. Well, I do. I have opinions, but I'll let you state your opinion.
So if we are talking about prediction markets and giving people access to make the forecasting wherever they like, we want to have as many people as possible with as much information as possible. So insiders in this situation, since it's a transparent market and we can see all the positions, we might not know who is placing the positions, but we can see everything that's going on. I think is less abusive, or there's there's more benefits than downsides to have insiders in prediction markets.
For truth.
That's my take.
For
For
truth.
truth, thinking about
Not
prediction markets,
necessarily for
not to make
winnings, but
money.
for truth.
Yeah, not for winning. If we think about a prediction marketing, it's just a market where you can make bank. Okay, you don't want insiders unless you are one of them. But if we think about prediction markets as a machine for truth that gathers the collective intelligence of the crowd, we want everyone, inclusive
Mhm.
insider trading, because they will have the edge that we don't for specific markets. What
Yeah.
what what do you think?
And I think it's hard to. I mean, and people might put my head in the stick for this, but I think we're being naive if we say that there is no market manipulation, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's always insider trading or market manipulation. All we need to think about is GameStop, Robinhood, and Citadel, right? They
Yeah, that's
shut a
that's
market
true.
right in the middle of it just before one of the market players got absolutely annihilated, right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
market manipulation, right? That's insider information changing. And they'll have known about this before Robinhood shut it off. Do you think they told any of the people before they shut it off, or did you think Citadel or whoever said shut that down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what
Mm-hmm.
happened there? So insider information and insider trading is unknown. It's uncontainable. Maybe you can dissuade people from doing it a little bit, but it happens. But I think from the point of view of I agree with George in this one. If we're genuinely looking for accuracy on news topics or price discovery, right? We need insiders placing bets in the right direction, right? It kind of has to happen, or you just end up with a manipulated market, but manipulated because of regulation. Regulation is manipulating it in the opposite direction, right? So I just don't. I think it can cause harm. Being able to having insider information and going wild on it is going to cause people financial harm, but it is also going to make things more true, right? You're going to get the actual direction of a trade, and people are going to do it anyway. Like we've seen a couple of examples. We saw the president of what's it called? What's the Bitcoin state? El
Salvador. Yeah. Nayib,
and
President
taking
Nayib.
a screenshot. Taking a screenshot of Polymarket and the market based on whether they're going to buy Bitcoin. He goes, I could really change this right now.
Yeah.
Right. So that's insider trading, right? Like if he decided to deploy, or if he knew the schedule for deploying, and other people got a peek at that, that's insider trading, right? And that would appear in the market. It's just somebody's going to win more than somebody else. Because in the end, does insider trading affect the outcome? No. Right? You know what I mean? Because if it's an event, because like he's saying, it's an event-based thing. This is what prediction markets are. They're all about
the event is going to happen. The event is going to happen.
Exactly.
Are you trading that or not? Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you are going to trade that event or not, if you're going to place your predictions. The event is going to happen or not.
Yeah.
But if you have insiders participating on the market, we can forecast that with more accuracy before that actually happens.
Where it becomes tricky is when the people are betting are the people who make the event happen. That's a real issue, not somebody finding out the details just before somebody else. That happens, right? Donald Trump Jr. sits on the board of Kalshi and owns part of Polymarket, right? Like, what is he doing with the information that he gets from there, right? Like, they must be doing something because they have funds and stuff like that, right? That information must be going in somewhere, right? So I think the issue comes from the market participant who can change the direction of the event is where it becomes problematic. People having information before other people, I don't necessarily think it's problematic, because that is always the case. Always the case. Even down to like this is why like hedge funds and stuff like that used to have like offices right next to the exchanges so they could get the information just before everybody else, like in a tenth of a second before, so they can make a trade. So is that like it's almost the exact same as insider trading?
Yes, right? it does exist already, right? I think what
it exists in different sorts of ways. It's just how you label it. So
what we can see in prediction markets that he calls event contracts here. I thought this name really cool. But anyway,
it's a good name because it gets us away from the gambling thing, right?
It is, exactly. I mean, because it's just like it's future contracts. It already exists with the price of assets, but this is the happening of an event or not. So we could understand prediction markets as a machine of truth to gather the collective intelligence of the crowd, but also as an incentive machine for insiders participating and sharing their knowledge and their information with the crowd that does not have that. Because imagine if you can make some money from your information, in case that can be beneficial for the crowd, would you save that information for you? Because we are thinking about in a situation that, okay, people are losing money because someone with an extra information will take advantage of that. But imagine if that information for a specific market is beneficial for the society or for a bigger crowd. So in this case, would it be good to have an insider? and providing a good outcome for this person as a way to incentivize them to share information that otherwise, I mean, keeping this information away would make more damage to people.
Yeah, it's but do the people who have the information really care?
I don't know.
Right, you know
Probably
what I
they
mean?
just want to make some money.
They don't really think about that. Exactly. They just
Probably
want
they just want to make some money. Yeah, because
they're like
otherwise
they're
it
basically like everybody's out. These meme coin ruggers are awful, but there's loads of people in traditional markets who are licensed that are as bad as fucking meme coin people every day.
yeah, imagine it, so imagine Edward Snowden back in the day. I mean, getting access to all the information. Imagine if he was able to kind of collect funds by sharing his insider information for that. I mean, that puts in risk in some kind of sensitive areas of governments and companies, of course. But for the crowds, that could be
It's
in
better for
some,
us. Yeah.
it could be better for us. I mean, does your phone company is spying on you? Is it listening to your conversations while you are talking to Siri or while you're talking to your wife through Siri or whatever it is? I don't know. I mean, that could
You could
be.
create that as a market, though. That's not an event that you could. You would
No,
be
but
able to resolve that market
you would be able
without
to resolve, but you would be able to
transparency.
gather that information to resolve something else, not specifically related to that. But yeah.
Yeah, because you just do it by the end of the year. Like, will Apple release how much information? Or no, I don't know. I'm not even going to get into that. They're not good market
No,
listeners. But
yeah, I understand.
I'm thinking. Well,
I
my
understand.
thinking is, it pops into my head. Right, is like, so you need to think of like attack vectors. Right, think of it as attack. How could people attack the protocol for, in our case, like or Polymarket space? Right, the protocol. What methods would they use to attack it and take money out of it? Right, which is legal
Mhm.
or kind of legal. Right. And if you think about like let's say oil, right? Like you've got OPEC. What if you're the guy who decides, or guy or a group of people who decides, or you're in that room when they decide how much oil they're going to start
Sure,
pumping
for
out
just
that
the
day?
intern participating of the
Yeah, if you're
meeting.
the intern, right? You're bringing in the tea. I don't even know if that happens, right? I've never been in one of those rooms. But like, if you're the tea boy, right? You're coming in with and you hear, oh, they're going to do like 1 billion more barrels, and you just jump on
Mm-hmm.
Polymarket and go, price of oil is going to go whatever. I think when you pump
Mm-hmm.
more, it goes down, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it shows you how a commodities expert I am. You can bet in a direction and make money, right?
Yeah.
It's like, as
Yeah. Yeah.
cheesy as it sounds, it's kind of like Wall Street One when he's like in the bins, like he's bought the cleaning company for the office that he wants to get information from, and he goes through the bins in the office. Like, it's that sort of shit, right? If you get that
Uh-huh.
information, that's
Uh-huh.
insider information. You might not be able to move the market though, right? Because you're too small.
Yes.
If a
Uh-huh.
big player has that information before everybody else, and they're not supposed to because there's rules governing that,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way to to mitigate that or stop it without starting to do the KYC.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
And none of
exactly.
us want KYC on this shit, right? Because then
Yes.
KYC comes with all the problems that you get on traditional betting platforms, where they can lock your accounts, they can stop you from putting on big bets if you're a major winner. If you win all the time,
Mm-hmm.
they can stop
Mm-hmm.
you. Like, so it comes with all the problems that we're trying to solve with crypto, and like lack of transparency that you get with it. So yeah,
Yes,
I
exactly.
think that's all I've got to say on that topic. We kind of labored that for about 10 minutes there,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
good article. It's like it's
It is. But the
it,
takeaway is, if you think about prediction markets as an efficient tool for to gathering the truth of, okay, for sure
on
we want those
event
people.
based truths.
Yes, we want those people trading so we get the
Exactly,
information.
exactly.
Yeah. Do you still have time for something else or?
Yeah, yeah. We've
Yeah.
got 5 minutes. So who have we got up
Okay.
next?
So we've got Yoshi. Yoshi and how prediction
Okay.
markets and streaming is 100x opportunity. And okay, it seems that he's reading our mind at Groovy because we are building this in Groovy.
or he's reading. He's looking at our platform.
It seems so. It seems so. Here's why he believes prediction markets and streaming are the next big opportunity. So, we are moving towards a world where most content is either AI enhanced or fully AI generated. So, users of social networks will soon get bored
Yeah.
of the AI slop feed and crave more and more real human connection. That's true. But the AI slop feed is what's driving users toward more screen time and less in real life human connection. So basically, humans are become more isolated and more lonely. That's true as well. So this can be cleanly visualized by this chart. So people are spending more time online and less time in the real world. So we have a combination of perpetually online people plus AI slop feeds. This will lead to the rise of human streamers with the ability to engage people live and also monetize their attention. For example, MrBeast recently raised 12 million for water on a live stream. And there was a market for that on Polymarket as well. So
There was
there are
market betting against them because all of crypto seems to hate Mr. Beast.
so far I totally agree, and this is why we do these live streams. It's a way to connect with people. So we need to have this connection, even though it's online. We don't see each other, we don't see you, but you are listening to us, and we kind of can create a bond. So I usually go to crypto events, and I always meet people that I only met online before, and that's great. So we need to have this mix of in real life and online. So there are plenty of prediction markets already live about Mr. Beast. Every second of his videos is now being monetized, and he himself is realizing that. So what happens when more and more streamers start drawing attention to their own prediction market? And this is exactly the mode behind Groovy Markets. So it's a user-generated prediction market. So you can engage your audience, you can get closer to them, and you can, if you ask the right questions and you can engage people, you can make money from that. So what happens when people start making predictions about those predictions? So he hypothecation machine with endless attention and speculation.
I mean, it's this. So there's where we see something. Because we see a convergence of two things bubbling that are kind of next to each other, right? Prediction markets growing, and the creator economy, right? The creator economy is billions of dollars right now, but most creators make under 100K a year, and I'd say even those that make enough to maybe survive are a tiny percentage of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like let's say it's this amount managing to feed themselves, the rest of them trying to be creators, like selling their souls basically online. And the issue is they need to have agents. Oh, okay, agents might be pretty good if you're big and you need to handle all your stuff. You don't want to deal with the business, you just want to focus on content creators. So okay, agents there. You need to get brand deals, or you need to be big enough to make affiliate links and all that work for you. And what we see in crypto, all the KOLs, every one of them, we saw two big dumps yesterday from Cook and Gainsey, and we don't know. Gainsey says it was an accident. Cook says it was a hack. I don't know if it was an accident with Gainsey. Maybe, like, he doesn't. I don't know. He has a bit of a history, right? So, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, right? And then Cook seems to be known as a mad rugger, and we know we've been given influencer lists, and he's been on it, right? So. The only way KOLs in crypto can kind of monetize is by rugging their community and shilling them shit that takes money off them. And this is where, like, so we came up with the 1% for creators before Pump Fund launched their creators fund, basically. But it is a movement, right? If we build platforms that mean streamers can engage with their audience and monetize them directly, like, that's the least toxic way for creators, and they don't need a brand in between. Look at my t-shirt, all this shit. Like, fuck all that. Like, I don't care. I don't want you selling to me. I want to hear about what you're saying, and I want to participate with you, and I want you to make money and keep doing this. It's like a cycle, right?
Yes, it is.
If we give them lots of markets, if it takes them 5-10 minutes to create a market, and they get like 500,000, depending on how big, like a Mr. Beast could probably drive like, 500 grand, $1 million worth of revenue to himself because his audience is so massive, and on board more people in crypto than anybody ever has. So this is what we need to do. We do need to blend the burgeoning creator economy, which is set to explode, and build tools for creators so they can monetize and keep doing what they're doing without getting snagged into shelling shit that they don't believe in, or just straight rugging people because they need to pay their rent.
Because they need to pay their
or
rent.
they're
Yeah,
greedy
exactly.
assholes, right? You can be a greedy asshole and run prediction markets and not hurt people.
Yes, exactly.
Unless you're doing
Yeah.
it in an event that you control and then you decide what way it goes, then we have a problem. And that's something that we would probably need to figure out how we solve in the future. But
Once again, we can use prediction markets to give life to the idea of crypto, is to remove the middleman. So
exactly.
so content creators can engage with their audience and can monetize their content straight through their audience in a platform. Don't need an agent, you don't need partnerships, you don't need contracts or anything like that. You use a platform. If you make a good content, if you how to if you know how to ask the correct questions that can engage people, and if you can create content in a way that people engage with you as well, you make money. And people can make money as well, because it's prediction markets, it's a market. If you're correct, you make money.
Your audience can make money, and you can make money from your audiences. It's a perfect sort of cycle, right? And I think like when we talk about asking good questions, this is something key, right? Yeah, anybody can go create a market, right? But if your market's bullshit, you're not going to drive momentum. You're not going to drive volume, and nobody's going to participate in your market. So all these yappers out there who are like, we're going to create markets and like get passive income or whatever, that's not going to work for you, because you're going to have to drive your audience there to make that work.
Yes.
But when you're asking questions like what the questions that do the best on prediction markets have momentum behind them, right? They are event-based. They're event-based driven, right?
They have to do. They have to do with something that's going on right now.
Something that's coming immediately, or something you believe is going to happen.
There is always a kind of a hype around it.
Yeah, if you're too like, it's going to have to be like cultural. Like culturally, we're going to have to feel that to be able to bring in liquidity. If the culture, and whatever culture it is, like the collective culture, isn't really feeling that, and you're asking these questions, you might be, if there's a big enough niche, you might be able to make money. But most of the time, you're just going to sit with dead liquidity, sitting there, and you're not going to make money.
In the end, you need to create good stuff. You need to bring value to people, so people can engage with you, and that's the only way to make money. Create things that exactly. So amazing. And soon enough, we will be able to share with you guys what we are building in Groovy. And testnet is about to, I can't promise, but we are working to finish our testnets. So while we are not out there, make sure to access groovy.market and secure your username. Also, subscribe to the Daily Prediction on Substack. It's our newsletter based on the content we share here on the show, and a lot of content that we gather exactly for you, so you can spot the top markets by volume, by the best opportunities out there in prediction markets. So then, anything else that I'm forgetting, Nick?
Not really. I guess just that call out for people who want to like get involved in chats is like, it'd be great to have Yoshi, because I was listening to him talking like he's got good mind. So we're looking for good minds in prediction markets to come in and chat with us. So it's not just like this echo chamber, because this will suck after a period of time. Listen to us talk shit all day. So like, we've got the newsletter. You can contribute there if you don't like doing live stuff, or come on and chat. You don't need to show your face. Like, just come on and like let's chat about things and get different ideas, because this is so early. There's so much. Think about how many, and I don't like to draw the comparison too close, but think about how many betting companies there are. There's so much space for all of us. There's so many niches. It is all about community. So like, let's come together and talk about these things and see how we can build it, how we can solve problems. Because we might build something that somebody else likes, and then they use that, or this is still early. Like Polymarket, Kalshi showed that people want it. It's just like, so what different ways do people want it, right? Like, what niches are people interested in participating in?
Exactly.
So it's,
and we do believe in the social aspect of prediction markets. It's not a PvP game. It's actually more than a collective game. People are playing together.
Yeah, exactly. This is reverse, but decentralize everything.
So that's it. So guys, our DMs are open. So if you see nice content out there about prediction market, make sure to tag Groovy Markets. We are going to take a look at that. If there's any topic that you like us to discuss, or if you want to discuss any topic with us,
With
if
us.
you disagree
Yeah, come on and
with
do it.
us, come on board. As Nick said, just join us, share your thoughts. It will be great to have you on show. Okay, and that's it, guys.
And
Thanks
I
for
won't be
thanks.
here next week.
Huh?
I won't be
Oh
here
yeah,
next week.
Nick
It'll
won't
be
be here
somebody
next
else,
week.
and then I'll be back.
I will be joined by a couple of friends, and if you want to join me as well, just send me a message, send a DM to Groovy, and we can have you on show.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's it.
All right, guys.
Okay, thanks a lot for watching
See you
and
later.
sticking around. Talk to you on Monday. Bye bye, guys. Have a good
Ciao.
one.